I've started off this debate by saying that the individual stakeholder was the most important part. Further on, they decided to provide us flawed mechanisms on societal outcomes that were simply never going to happen. We support the autonomy of choice, they support societal plateau. 3 points of clash for the House today. First, is it principally right to allow people to have their years traded? Second of all, will the individuals actually be benefited? Third, who has the most societal outcomes in this debate? So the first point of clash. What have they told us? Well, their stance was clear that they suppose that there are going to be these other alternatives, such as supporting marginalized communities, whether that be racial minorities, impoverished communities, or some people who are just ugly, via subsidies and such, and scholarships. This is what their stance was. So what have we heard from them on this point of clash itself? They said that essentially these people weren't able to make rational decisions, that they didn't understand the full mechanisms of life, that they didn't understand death itself, and that in that sense, they didn't also understand that relationships were a key component in this debate. So, first of all, I'm going to respond to why bodily autonomy is principally correct in this. At the point where people understand that there is no other outcome, that there is no other solution to being able to escape poverty, to being able to escape bullying, because no one is able to help them, this is when they're actually making that rational decision to do what is best for them, to get them that marginal benefit of trading possibly just 1 year of their average on 80 years of life in order to be marginally better wherever that is on intelligence, on how they look, as long as that individual feels that they have benefited from this choice. That is what we stand for in this debate, and that's why principally bodily autonomy is what we're going to allow. So on the irrational choice, so we've already given you that first mechanism. Second, on why we say that just saying that people around 20 to 30 are going to be the people making this decision really just isn't right. First of all, we're going to tell you that this is actually just a very marginal group. Not all people are just going to be around 20 or 30 making these decisions, because people actually do go on a stressful part of their life throughout their life, and that means it opens up the idea that everybody should be able to have the choice to make these sorts of decisions. Second of all, we're going to tell you that even though if they are 20 to 30 years old, they're still able to make rational decisions. These are fully grown adults. They are given information under our model. They're rational enough to know that a few years of their life could be significant. They're going to go back home. They're going to discuss. They're going to deliberate with friends and family to whatever experts they feel necessary. And before they make this really large decision on trading away their years, we're going to tell you, and we have told you throughout this debate, that these people are rational. You can't just assert throughout the debate that people are irrational, people don't understand fear, and people don't understand death, when throughout our lives we're told at every second that our youth is valuable, that everything that we do is valuable. So for someone who's not actually experiencing valuable and meaningful moments in life, for them it is more important that they change their appearance, that they change their traits in order to live a more valuable life, a more meaningful life for them. It is up to them to make that decision, and that's what we propose, and that's the stance that we have in today's debate. So, for these reasons, we firmly believe that we win this principal argument. First of all, because we proved to you that the autonomy of choice is what's at the forefront of this debate. Second of all, we've been able to prove to you that people are actually able to make rational decisions when it comes to training their years for personality, for different things such as that. Third of all, we've been able to tell you that it gives equal opportunities for both sides of the house in terms of economic classes. This gives people in an impoverished society more of a chance to compete with those. Fourth, we've told you that, this is actually what's best for the individual itself. And this moves now to my second point of clash, the effect on the individual stakeholder itself. So what have we heard from this? Widely, it's just assertions on why people don't actually understand the fundamental mechanisms of life itself and how much one life is worth. This is basically all the response we've we've gotten away from this. We made it really clearly that our characterization was that people making this trade-off are not just regular people. It's most likely people who are struggling. It's most likely people who are impoverished, who know that there are no more outcomes for them, who've tried their best to perhaps seek further education. They haven't been able to get the subsidies that the opposing teams proposed in today's debate. They haven't been able to get the scholarships in order to pursue a higher education. They're stuck at the bottom. This is their only option. These are the people who are most likely to take this sort of opportunity. These are the people who are critically affected in today's debate. So our first line of response is we're going to tell you that the years of trade-off do not significantly take away the net enjoyment of their life. Second of all, the last few years for many of these more elderly citizens are going to be critical, because at the point which you don't have a lot of life to live, it is important that you enjoy your life, and it is important that you're able to make decisions on your own. If you only have 5 years to live, trading away 1 year of your life so that you may have like the most maximum amount of enjoyment, instead of living 5 more dreadful years where you're not able to enjoy your life, we think that on our side of the house it's critically better for us, and there's these actual tangible concrete benefits where the opposing team hasn't been able to provide. Third of all, especially those who are discriminated and impoverished, these are the people who understand that this opportunity is crucial for them. It tells them that because they're impoverished, perhaps if they were able to trade in a year of their life so that they are more like intelligent, they may be able to seek higher education, they may be able to get the job that they like. The opposing team really hasn't given us a single fundamental mechanization on why the individual stakeholder is actually benefited from this. They've tried to win the societal point, which I'm going to move on to, but have critically failed. So what if they told us under the societal point of clash who has the better outcomes? First of all, they wanted to reinforce that stereotypes in society were going to become increasingly worse. They told us about this cultural shock that's going to happen. They also wanted to mention that if everybody is going to go under these sorts of trades, then it's all the same. So, a few layers of response. First of all, on the culture, we're going to tell you that autonomy is what we choose, and that is including religion and culture. People have the choice on what they believe, and their life shouldn't be dictated by religion. Second of all, we're going to say that you are still the same person fundamentally. They brought the idea that Allah made you, and for some people it's about like He made you, and therefore you should respect the body you've been given. But the essence is the person itself. It's in the spirit itself. It's not generally just like the physical traits. We still think that the religious aspect is kept in this sense. Although you're trading a year of your life for something else, this doesn't matter because you're still the same person, except you're just marginally happier. If your God truly loved you, then they would respect the fact that you want to have a better life. Now, third, I'm going to respond to this increase in discrimination. We don't think this is fundamentally correct, because at the point where discrimination hasn't been solved in our society, poverty hasn't been solved, we need to be able to give these people an actual opportunity to escape from this discrimination, to escape from this impoverished community. Stand on our side where we support free choice. Stand on our side where we support marginalized communities.